What's up, guys? 2 banks of 5. UEFA Champions League draw was just done, and it has pulled up some cracking fixtures. First up, actually, go to my Instagram page. The actual picture of the draw is there for you guys. That's 2_banks_of_5. Great content there as well. I react to the big things that's coming up and maybe some discussion points before the Premier League weekend. I really only focus on the Premier League and the big Champions League games though, so if you're into some more hipster football, I'm not the place to go. So first up, speaking of hipsters, PSG and Dortmund. This is a really tough game. PSG winning their league by canter again. They have a front 3 or 4 now, 5 maybe. Is Sarabia in there as a front player? I'm not sure, but Mauro Icardi is a great finisher. And when you have Mbappe to your right, Neymar to your left, and even Edinson Cavani to come on, they've got such a good attacking force. I really do rate Verratti highly. Thiago Silva might be on his last legs, but he's still a good defender. Dortmund in third place in their league currently, 29 points. I believe they are only 4 points off RB Leipzig. They've got some great talent. Maybe they might lose Jadon Sancho midway through the season, so that could change it. I think this is PSG's best opportunity to win the Champions League. I think Neymar and Mbappe might move on next season, one of them or maybe two. PSG are changing their approach. They're not looking to buy the big players. I think they're thinking more strategically. They've signed players like Sarabia, Herrera, and did they sign Idris Gueye from Everton? I'm pretty sure they signed a player, the defensive midfielder from Everton, Gueye. So that was a great purchase. And I just think the reason why I think PSG will do well this season is because nobody's really talking about them anymore. PSG have had heaps of collapses in the past. Do I think they'll make the final? Probably not. But this is their best chance. I think they will collapse in either the quarters or the semis, or even the final. If they make the final, I think it'll be too big for them. But I'm going to actually go PSG over Dortmund. All week I was saying to my mates, no fucking way City get a hard draw. I was picking Atalanta, Lyon, or I was even picking a surprise that some team had to pull out and they just chucked Oxford City or Oxford United back into play them. City always seem to get the easy draw. They got Shakhtar last year in the round of 16, and the year before that they got someone easy as well. But City got Real Madrid. So City are in third, Real Madrid in second. It's really hard to talk about this game currently because I think in the new year, Manchester City will obviously have Laporte back, Aguero, and also Leroy Sané. So they'll be a different animal. And I think they will be closer to Liverpool. As much as I don't want to say it, I think they'll be within 9 points of Liverpool at this point. Liverpool will still be playing outstanding, I think. But Liverpool will have games to hand and stuff like that. I just think City are going to be very strong next year. Sorry, one sec. Oh, I'm so thirsty. And Real Madrid, we don't know how this side will progress. And even transfers, we don't know. Rumours Luka Jovic is going out, so maybe they'll sign another striker to back up Benzema. Hazard might be in a completely different vein of form by then. So it could be very different. I'm going to pick City, though. I think they'll be in a different vein of form next season. And what I saw from De Bruyne against Arsenal just showed that on their day, they can be absolutely clinical. And I know it was Arsenal, but I've watched City play many a times. And they're a great team, let's be honest. And if they make it past this round, I do think the headlights will come in again for them and they might struggle. But they've been into the quarters the last 2 years, and I think they'll do it again, especially if they're not able to compete in the Premier League or they're still far off. I think they'll put their tools down in the Premier League, give time to Foden, give time to Garcia, Jesus, Mahrez starting Premier League games again. just so they can focus on the Champions League. But I'm gonna go City. Next up, Atalanta, Valencia. Both these guys, you know that meme where all the guys are standing around that one blonde chick, and you just know what's going to happen. That was these guys. And fortunately for them, they got each other. So Valencia are 8th in the Liga. Performed well in the Champions League though so far. Atalanta, the first team to lose their first 3 group matches and go through. They have 1 point coming into round 5. So absolutely incredible. They're 4 points outside the top 4 and 6th, Atalanta. I honestly can't pick this one in terms of football knowledge. I haven't watched a lot of Atalanta or Valencia. I'm expecting both of them to move up the table now that they only have 1 game a week to worry about. I'm going to go Valencia. I just think I've picked everyone at the top of their group so far. I just think Valencia will have too much. Their stadium is a fortress, and I think Atalanta are going to struggle. Valencia have been on this stage before, Atalanta haven't, so I think Valencia will go through. Next up, Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool Football Club. Obviously, as a Liverpool fan, this is not the draw I wanted. Atletico are a pragmatic team. Diego Simeone, great coach. This will be tough. Atletico currently are in 5th position. They're, I think, 5 points behind the top 4. Performing not so well currently. But, you know, Atletico have been on this stage many a time. They've got some young talent. I am actually worried. The one thing going for Liverpool is, you know, they're the best team in Europe right now, let's be honest. They're a brilliant team, and I do expect them to go through. I'll explain why in a second. Last season, when Liverpool played Bayern Munich, it was a similar sort of question, like, oh, this is a tough draw, blah, blah, blah. And Liverpool made it through quite easily. So Liverpool going back to the Stadio Metropolitano. That's so hard to say. They're going back to the stadium they won the Champions League final in, which definitely will be a buzz-up for all the Liverpool fans and additionally the players. That'll be the first and only time they'll go back there to the place they won the Champions League. And then going back to Anfield, you just can't write them off at Anfield. Like we said last season, Liverpool were 3-0 down to Barcelona and it didn't matter. They still got the job done. So I definitely think that Liverpool will go through in the end. The leg at Atletico's home ground will be a tough one. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if Atletico got the win there, a 1 or a 2-0. But I think just going home, back to Anfield, I think any team who hasn't played Liverpool before at Anfield always have a shock. You just know someone's going to come out and say that Anfield won't affect the game. And then it will. So Liverpool goes through. Chelsea, Bayern Munich. This is a tough one. Currently, Bayern are in 5th on 27 points, so they're only 6 points off first. Chelsea are 4th, and they're actually struggling at the moment. I honestly couldn't pick this one. Chelsea have a youthful side. You don't know what they're going to do in January. And Bayern Munich, obviously, are dealing with, you know, a different squad. No Robben, no Ribery, obviously, now this season. And Coutinho's coming to some form with a hat-trick on the weekend and 2 assists. Lewandowski's a brilliant striker. Serge Gnabry's playing very well. I just think Bayern might be shocked by Chelsea's performance, their youthfulness and their pressing. And Frank Lampard, I'm going to go Chelsea in this one. Crazy as it sounds. Also, Bayern Munich will not want to play Chelsea after that Champions League final. I've got to go Chelsea in that one. I know logically I should be going Bayern, but I've picked everyone else who won their group, so I thought I'd pick Chelsea. Lyon, Juventus. Lyon are 17 points off PSG, 5 points outside the top four. They're in 8th. Juventus are tied for first technically, but they're in second on goal difference. I'm not going to talk about this one very much. I'm just going to say Juventus will win this one. Lyon are a good side, but Juventus should win. Also, some stuff coming out this week that a few of the Lyon players want to leave their contracts after being attacked by fans. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with Juventus. Spurs, Leipzig. Spurs in 5th. Mourinho's taken them up a bit. 2 points outside the top four. RB Leipzig are actually first in the Bundesliga on 33 points. A lot of people were saying this is great for Spurs, but Leipzig are a very good team. And if they're anything like their sister project, RB Salzburg, they're a great pressing side, very high intensity. They've got some good young players, some talented players like Werner. I don't know enough about Leipzig to make a call. So, but I do think they will get it done. I think RB Leipzig will beat Spurs. New year, I think Spurs need to get back in the top four, and that might be a bit distracting. They might not be able to rest players. And we've seen in a few games this season already, even under Mourinho, that Spurs can be got at. And they've been lucky on the weekend, Wolves played out of their skin. Spurs still got the win, so you never know, but I'm going to have to go RB Leipzig. Then Barcelona and Napoli. I'm not going to talk about this one. Barcelona. Gattuso's in for Napoli. They're in 8th right now. They're well off the pace. There was that mutiny between the players and the owners, so you'd never know what Napoli are going to be like next season. Got to go Barca. I'm just going to think about my picks. So currently I have PSG to win over Dortmund, City to win over Real Madrid, Valencia to win over Atalanta, Liverpool to win over Atletico Madrid, Chelsea to win over Bayern, Juventus over Lyon, Leipzig over Spurs, Barca over Napoli. I'm gonna change Leipzig to Spurs. The whole thing about not performing and still getting the win. I think this game suits Mourinho. If Leipzig are willing to get at Spurs, especially, there's going to leave gaps behind, which Spurs can obviously exploit. So I'm definitely going to stick with that. PSG, Manchester City, Valencia, Liverpool, Chelsea, Juventus, Spurs, and Barcelona to go through. Even the Chelsea one's racking my brain. I don't know. Lewandowski's in the form of his life. But when I watched them play Liverpool last year, they were just so far off the pace. And yeah, they've got Coutinho now, but I don't think that's enough. Matip dominated Lewandowski, so Chelsea might have a new centre-back by then as well. I'm going to stick with Chelsea. Going to stick with Lampard. And then, so that, leaving PSG, City, Valencia, Liverpool, Juventus, Barcelona, Spurs, and Chelsea, that's pretty tough. You know, no one wants to play anyone in that, honestly. As if Liverpool were to go through and it was out of those picks, I'd pick Valencia. Obviously. Who do I think is going to win? Or who will be in the final? Pending they don't verse each other, I think Barcelona, Liverpool, or PSG will be in the Champions League final this season. It's so hard to call right now. So many good teams. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I will be back midweek. It's Carling Cup in a few days. Liverpool are playing the youth. So we'll be back with a little discussion on that World Club Cup as well. Never a better time to become a 2 Banks of 5 subscriber, mostly because I've only been around for a few weeks. So please, once again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow us on our socials. All right, lads. Cheers. Bye.